Please God, let this be over soon, thought Braden Eric Peters, aka Clavicular, as he led the slender, Caucasian 19-year-old into his bedroom and shut the door behind them. Sit over there, said Clavicular, gesturing toward the bed which was lit by gently pulsing purple LEDs. On the bed? Said Nina, the 19-year-old. Are you stupid or something? Said Clavicular. Where else could I mean? The young girl's doe eyes went wide as she looked at him with confusion, unsure how to react. She had come all the way here and would probably endure just about anything he could say to her, no matter how cruel. But Clavicular didn't want the drama. The cameras were off and there was no ROI if they fought without an audience. Only joking, he said. Right, I get it. The girl forced a smile, not really getting it. Seriously, said Clavicular. Go sit down. I'll join you in a minute. Nina shuffled across the room and he watched as her ass swayed beneath her tight gold skirt. The girl had natural beauty, thought Clavicular. Unlike him, who had spent tens of thousands of hours to make himself physically ideal, her looks were a gift from God. Bitch. I like your lights, said Nina, sitting on the bed. My friend has some just like them. Now that she had sat down, Clavicular could remove his shoes. He stood naturally at 5'11", but wore lifts that made him appear 6'2", which added an additional 1/3 of a point to his sexual marketplace value. And even though slamming Nina was a done deal, he refused to lower his score in such an easily avoidable way. It wasn't even about her, but about his love of the game. He was a fanatic and a professional, and his adherence to looks maxing at all costs was what set him apart from the millions of amateurs who would never attain the status of a Giga Chad. So your friend, he must be a streamer, said Clavicular. It would be helpful if they were talking, so that she would be distracted from the elaborate deception that was about to follow as he slipped off his shoes and stood with a ballerina's precision on the balls of his feet so that he didn't lose a single inch despite having stepped out of his lifts. Yeah, I guess, she said as Clavicular removed his phone, opened Spotify, and began playing Respect My Crippin' by Blueface. He gambles and people watch, but I wouldn't really call him a friend. He's just a guy I know. Degenerate, thought Clavicular. I wonder how many guys she's fucking. He began bouncing to the beat of the song and pumping his fists. He wasn't doing this for fun, but because he would need to dance toward the bed in a way in which Nina was unable to discern his now diminished height. As he reached her, he squeaked out a half-hearted, "Woo!" and leapt onto a 3-inch platform he concealed under a pile of clothes. On the platform, he was back to 6'2", and Nina was none the wiser. You're so hot, he said, lowering himself and kissing her on the lips as he guided them both horizontally. Laying down, his height was no longer apparent, so he pulled out his phone and stopped the song. It was just getting to the good part, said Nina. You really should wear more makeup, said Clavicular. Now that they were away from the harsh strobe lights of the nightclub where they had met, he could examine her face with a precision that not even the best plastic surgeons possessed. Most girls wear too much makeup, said Clavicular. But you're not even trying. The girl's face was a 6 out of 8 on the PSL attractiveness scale, or 7.5 out of 10 if scored on the decile. With no surgery and barely any makeup, she was already a low-level Stacy. The fact that she put in such little effort when she could easily ascend to an almost god-tier PSL 7 made Clavicular sick to his stomach. What do you mean? She said. For one thing, your suborbitals are sunken, said Clavicular, as his eyes bore through her, analyzing her bone structure and musculature against the hundreds of charts he'd etched into his memory. And your lower labial is too thin, not to mention that cheap haircut clashes with the shape of your head. Instead of slimming you down, it makes you look boxy. You need a better stylist, and maybe some fat dissolvers injected into your jowls. Nina rolled onto her back and looked up at the ceiling. I thought you said I was pretty, she said as the purple LEDs cast a throbbing glow across the contours of her not quite perfect face. I said you were hot, said Clavicular, and you can always be hotter. The girl's eyes were beginning to fill with tears. Come on, don't get emotional, he said. It has nothing to do with how I feel about you. It's all golden ratios and math dating back to ancient Greece. I'm just giving you the objective facts. She was pissing him off now, and he wished he could kick her out, but it was also an objective fact that he had not had sex in 7 hours, and his libido was surging. If she left before he emptied his sack, he would remain in an agitated state and have difficulty sleeping. It was better to play nice for a few more minutes, then pump and dump and block her number. So, he said, are we gonna fuck or what? I think, said Nina, keeping her eyes fixed on the ceiling. I think I need to go. Fine, said Clavicular, rolling over and taking out his phone. He opened up Instagram and logged into his girlfriend's profile, which was something he was forced to do while his account was still banned. He began scrolling, trying to find the girl he'd met 2 nights ago who had perky B-cups and claimed to be a porn star in Ukraine. Hopefully she was still in Miami. "Okay," said Nina, sliding out of bed. "Nice to meet you, I guess." She looked down at him, waiting for a response, but Clavicular said nothing and continued to scroll.